Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're excited that you're here tonight. Katie, what are you excited about?
Croissant!
I figured.
Yeah, I'm also excited about all of you being here. So if you happened to turn into geekscorner.live, there'd be a nice fancy chat feature. We could see everything that you guys have to say, and I could be excited about that as well.
Very cool.
And also croissants!
And if you're going to book any Disney travel anytime soon, please do it through Mouseways Travel. They are our official travel partners. They book your travel for free. You save money. You save stress. And you're also supporting Geeks Corner, which is a great thing for everybody. Matthew's a great guy. He's taking good care of us, and he will take good care of you as well. Let's get right into this week, huh?
Shall we?
First off, I remembered my good friend Marcy.
Good job!
Wrote another book.
Books.
Yes. Well, she has multiple books, but this one's Walts Disneyland, A Walk in the Park with Walt Disney. And it's a wonderful retro look at Disneyland as you get to tour Disneyland as it was when Walt Disney was there. It's a very fun and easy read that you will enjoy. Marcy really captures the spirit of the 50s and 60s of Walt Disney. And there's some fantastic quotes, stories, and more that you just don't want to miss. And you could read my review on the website. But basically what you want to know is this one you should get because you will love it and enjoy it just as much as I did, I think.
Oh my gosh. Walt Disney at the opening of Happily Ever After.
There you go.
That's so nice.
Don't read that chapter now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's the chapter after he's passed.
Uh-oh. That would make me sad.
Yeah, let's not read that right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Let's move on to happier news. Mickey's Toontown is getting reimagined.
Yay!
Is that happy news? I think it is.
Yay!
But
And you want to talk about croissants? Isn't there a Mickey short with a croissant or something? I don't know. I haven't actually watched it.
Yes, the French one.
I haven't actually watched it.
Good call.
Honest.
But yes,
tie-in.
that is true. Mickey's Toontown is getting a new look in multiple places. And it was announced, I believe, yesterday. This week has been crazy.
Oh my God, that was yesterday.
Yes, it was. And we now know that it looks like Roger's fountain is going to be replaced by a fountain with Mickey and Minnie on it. It looks like...
kind of like they're taking out a fountain and putting in another, but not in the same place.
That we know.
Well, from the concept art, we all know the concept art is just that, a concept.
Yes. Well, and we don't actually know where that tree is that we're seeing. So it could be this tree over here.
And you know the best thing about this?
What? We don't know.
It's the keyword that you just said. Tree.
Oh, yes. Trees are coming.
Trees to Mickey's Toontown.
Which is wonderful. I actually like it. Looks like it's not going to be as open as it was before, and that it's going to have kind of a I don't know, a more small town feel as opposed to... But as long
as it has shade, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Mickey shorts are always, especially if they're outside, it's Mickey in these big, like, foresty, shaded areas with these big trees. And that's something that Toontown has majorly been lacking. And part of the reason I don't walk back there a lot...
It's too hot.
It's way too hot.
Even when it's not super hot out, it feels like it is just because it's so open and...
And it's concrete.
They're also stressing there's going to be lots of interactivity and things for kids and families to do, which I think is great. And that's actually what Toontown was initially meant to be.
Yeah. And
as things didn't work through the years and didn't get replaced or whatever, that's kind of gone by the wayside. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to open in 2023. In March 2022, the current version of Mickey's Toontown will be closing, which I think is kind of cool also.
You know, this isn't going to impact us a whole lot, I'll be honest. In our day.
Other than I feel like we now need to go and take more pictures there. Because the day they announced Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I believe was the day we went into the park and we took pictures of all of Toontown. Yes. And I've got those somewhere. But it'll be interesting to see a last day in March before it closes and then first day 2023.
Well, I was saying for that year while it's closed, it's really not going to affect our day-to-day operations too much, except we have a friend who loves Gadget Go Coaster. Yes, we do.
The DAPS operations.
Yes. We have a friend.
The DAPS operations.
We have a friend who loves Gadget Go Coaster. He's probably going to be upset that they cannot ride this for a bit.
Yes.
But
it looks like it's coming back.
It does. It looks like it's going to be there.
I was looking at it very closely and it kind of looks like
I was also looking at it very closely.
Yeah.
I was very concerned the Gadgets was going away. It looks like Gadgets that's staying. Again, this is all concept art. So, like, I know that people have been concerned about Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin. I know it doesn't look like it's in the concept art, but we know there's a retheme coming from the OC Register.
Well, and it could be they just don't want to give away.
And that's my guess.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying that even if we speculate all these things, we could be totally wrong. And like, people have been saying that it looks like Chippendale's treehouse might be gone, but we could be totally wrong. Like,
Especially since they're getting a movie.
Exactly.
Like, they've got a movie coming in on Disney Plus. That kind of makes sense for them to keep it. We'll see. I personally would love if there was a walkway between Mickey's Toontown and a galaxy far, far away.
Oga's. Yeah.
Well, Oga's. Yeah, sure.
And I think that it would spit you out about where the
First Order encampment is.
Yeah, the triathlon.
That's kind of where I would think it would
Yeah.
be too. But it needs to be in a way that makes sense and
Yeah.
doesn't feel forced. And so if they can't do that, like if it feels like you're just walking down a hallway,
Yeah.
I would skip it. If they
Agreed.
can make it themed and like the other entrances into Galaxy's Edge,
Yeah.
then I'm all for
in
it.
a way that makes sense for both lands.
Yeah.
I think is the key point.
Well, and the area in between for the story that's being told as you walk through it.
Exactly. My
Mhm.
biggest takeaway, if the concept art is something to be believed, is Goofy's house might be going away. And I think that's actually a good thing because Goofy's house has not been living up to its full
Potential.
in years.
It'll be interesting to see if that's true or if that was just
we left it out of the concept art type of thing.
or does it become a new, like meet and greet area
Yeah,
or
100
like there's.
well, either way, I think there's nothing to be lost with Toontown being reimagined. I think this is a really, really good thing for a land that needs a lot of love. So,
And it'll be interesting to see too, because you've got Destination D happening this weekend and Murray will be there.
I feel like we might know some more by the end of the weekend.
I feel like a week from now, we're going to be able to be like, oh yeah, and this is happening also.
Yeah.
This is happening over there. This thing is showing up here.
Give us Jessica Rabbit PI. Do it.
But I think it'll probably have more Florida news than, we'll get some California news. I'm betting we're going to get a ton of cruise line news for Disney Wish and whatnot. Maybe Halcyon too. And, but I feel like there has to be a lot more Florida centric news. We'll see. No?
I want California news.
I think we'll get some. I just think the onus will be over there.
I know.
We'll see.
I was trying to see how long I could hold that sad frown.
Oh, okay. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. You want to move on? I think we're both excited about this. I think it's going to be a good thing. And we'd love to hear what you think as well.
After this is done, and I mean, I know we'll have to give it a few years because new land and thing. Tomorrowland next, please.
Wouldn't that be a great announcement at Destination D?
That sure would be.
I feel like that's a D23 Expo style or
it would be
sized announcement, but who knows?
Please, if we could get rid of Jolly Holiday tracks. Right? Is it no Jolly Charlie? Not Jolly Holiday. Jolly Trolley. If we get rid of the my brain is melting out of my ears.
I was wait, what?
If we get rid of those tracks, maybe we get rid of the People Mover tracks.
It'd be even cooler.
What?
If they used the tracks.
Okay, yeah, but
they kind of know how to do the train thing. Like maybe
like in Toontown or in Tomorrowland?
In Toontown.
Oh yeah.
If instead of them going away, it became like Red Car Trolley and it actually went from end to end
like
or something.
It originally did in 1985.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love that.
4? 5? What year was that? 94 or 5?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It's 95.
But yes, Bailey, thank you. This is what the people are saying. Give us the Tomorrowland refurb, but don't touch Space Mickey.
Yeah.
That's what the people are saying. It's what the people are demanding.
Some of them.
It's what the people are demanding.
Okay.
And I think that's a very important thing that we should all be advocating more. Everybody, Tom Morris vaguely referenced my tattoo on a podcast he was on.
Mm-hmm.
So the Space Mickey revolution is upon us.
Oh, that's what it is.
3.
93. That makes sense because it's 25 and 20. Okay.
Well, I was trying to think about what year the 25th anniversary was, and I knew it was pre-COVID, but I couldn't remember.
There you
go.
Yes, I do think it should stay, and I would love that. Or it could be moved and put in an even better location, which I don't know what that is, but that would be cool too.
Space Mickey?
Yeah. More prominent.
Put him on the castle.
Or somewhere.
I want pictures of Space Mickey. Put him in. No. Replicate Space Mickey and put him everywhere. It could be a new scavenger hunt. Find Space Mickey.
Speaking of finding things, we made our way into Disneyland last Thursday night. For Disney Merriest Nites, it was the first one where we went and found characters at 6 parties throughout this bigger party.
One party holding 6 parties.
Yes, which is an interesting concept that I don't know that it worked.
It didn't come across. If you did not tell me that beforehand, I would have said, cool,
I think
characters
I would
are
have
here.
said one party, 6 themes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And even that might have been a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, you could say six
the
destinations.
The hard thing is that they were just in the 6 different lands. So
and
it just felt like it was themed to those lands.
Yes. And I wouldn't call each one a party because it didn't feel like a part. Like the one that Tomorrowland felt like a party.
Because
yes,
there was Buzz Lightyear shuffling with the DJ.
And I would say second to that, Main Street felt like a party because of the projections on the
Muppets
on the walls, the Muppets, but more of the like everything was up to quite a different level than normal.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that.
Whereas
Tiana's party in New Orleans Square didn't really feel like a party.
No, it kind of felt like New Orleans Square with Tiana at night and
the
some photo ops. And the jazz, like that was cool too.
Yeah,
on
but
the Mark
like
Twain.
Fantasyland, I wouldn't necessarily say.
And they had some awesome jazz also, or brass stuff.
I just don't know how well the concept came across to me in action.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't necessarily feel like individual 6 parties within.
And that's okay. That's not a bad thing.
But that wasn't that. Yeah, that's nitpicking. The big thing of the night was, as everybody is saying, the Muppets. And their caroling coach, which made its way down Main Street, USA, around the hub, and then stopped at the top of Main Street to sing some songs. And that was easily worth, what was it, $165, $175, whatever it was. All of the money was for that 16-minute whatever show. And that was totally worth it in my world. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And
my admission ticket to Magic Kingdom is basically just to watch great moments in American history with the Muppets when that's going.
Yes.
So
and it started before the show even starts because Miss Piggy and Bill Rogers, the voice of Disneyland, have a little banter fun thing. The show is coming, which was absolutely amazing and hilarious.
That was fun to me in a lot of regards because 1, it's Miss Piggy interacting with Bill Rogers, and 2, Bill Rogers got to say at a Disneyland event,
I'm the voice of Disneyland.
I'm Bill Rogers, voice of Disneyland.
Yes.
Outside of Candlelight Processional, because I feel like normally he says that live. But like getting to hear him like in a recorded thing say I'm Bill Rogers, the voice of Disneyland was so fun.
It was very funny. And hearing him go back and forth with Miss Piggy and have Miss Piggy call him a plethora of different names. Yeah, like it was ridiculous.
Because Bill Rogers is funny.
Yeah.
He has good comedic timing.
Very much so. And it was very enjoyable to watch and listen to. And easily, like, party's great. We're having fun. And then take it to 11 with the Muppets. And that's worth it right there. And I really hope it's the first of many things we see with the Muppets.
Yes.
I know we said that with Great Moments in American History a few years ago, but
well, and to harp on, I know I said this on Twitter, but I'm going to say it again here because, you know, more people. The best thing to me about the Muppets caroling coach is that it felt like the Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
It did not feel like somebody wrote for the Muppets but didn't know the Muppets sound or style or voice or anything like that. All of the Muppets felt like who they were supposed to be. Like Kermit felt like Kermit. Pepe felt like Pepe. And it was like honest and it was really fun. And it was the Muppets doing what the Muppets do best, which is like being bad at things, but like having fun doing it.
Yes, doing their very best and everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
But they love each other and they embrace their differences and they come together. And
stop, I'm gonna cry.
And that's what's great about the Muppets. But that's what it is. And
no, it is.
I feel like Galaxy Quest right now when the guy's talking about, but anyway. But yeah, that was easily the highlight of the night. I think it was also cool getting to see Mickey and Minnie in their new outfits and Scrooge and Goofy in their Mickey's Christmas Carol outfits, which I thought was like, it surprised me how cool that was.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then like you actually see them and you're like, oh, this is way cooler than I thought it would be.
I also really enjoyed getting to see the Frozen unit.
Yes, the entire
specifically.
Frozen unit.
Yeah, so they would kind of swap out. So the first set, I
Group.
guess you could call it, or group, was Anna, Olaf, and Prince Hans of the Southern Isles, which was super, super duper cool. And then group B or set B or whoever is Elsa, but in a dress that she has not worn in
which
the
was
parks
very
yet.
cool.
And then
Elegant is a good word.
And then Wandering Oaken,
which was very cool and not elegant.
And then Wesselton,
which was hilarious.
Which we haven't seen those characters since Frozen Live at the Hyperion.
And it looked like those outfits.
And it looked very similar. But it was so fun to see those characters, because even if they were the same costumes, it was so fun to see those characters outside and interacting.
Here's the tough question.
What's the tough question?
Take away all of those characters that were in the parks that night. Which one Disney character or any of Disney property character would you want to see at a holiday party like Disney Merriest Nites? If you could add one more. That's the way I should ask the question.
I don't know that I have a good answer for that. What's your answer?
I asked you first.
No, that's not fair. I'm not good at answering questions when I'm not ready.
Actually, I do know who I would have added.
Who would you have added?
I would have added Kermit's nephew.
Robin?
I would have added Robin. Or Bean Bunny. Because I think that would have just added, if you had Robin in the Muppets show or the Muppets Caroling Coach, that would have taken an already stellar show and just like, bam.
Yeah. I mean,
especially if he's standing there next to Kermit and talking to Uncle Kermit, and like that would be cute. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, your turn.
I don't know. I can't think of a good holiday character. Or a character that I would like to see for the holidays. It's very funny when you ask me questions like this. Every Disney character leaves.
How about a photo op? Because to me, the photo op that I would have made, I think it would actually gone on Main Street, and hopefully we didn't miss this because I don't think it was. Yeah, I think that was actually the one I was thinking. Clocky was Chewbacca in his Life Day robes, also.
I was thinking Babu Frick with his little Santa hat.
Yeah, that would work too.
Hey!
But wouldn't it be great to have a photo op that's Lady and the Tramp Christmas scene?
Yeah.
Like that would be super cute.
Yeah. I want to meet a puppy in a box.
Jiminy Cricket we're seeing in the chat also, I think would be really great.
Yeah, I would love to do a Daps Live of Muppets Christmas Carol every year if you guys are okay with me sobbing every year, because I can't watch it again without wanting to cry my face off.
It's good. It's very good.
I'm scared.
All right, let's move right along. Along with Disney's Merriest Nites, which we would say was a hit, I would say it gets an A-. Is that a fair assessment? And this is their first time doing it. There was some challenges getting into the park. I think
the second event of the year is happening tonight.
Right. And I'm assuming that it'll be even better than the first night, because I figured a lot of these things that, they're hard. But no, I think A- easily, probably would do it again if it was offered. And I just hope it doesn't replace things like a Christmas fantasy parade or fireworks and things like that, like they do in Florida.
Which, I mean, the hopeful thing right now is that there were no fireworks offered at the party.
Yeah. But holidays have started at Disneyland, which means that everybody else can see Christmas fantasy even when it's not at the party. And they can also see Believe in Holiday Magic. And perhaps most importantly, well, we'll say some of the other things too. Blue 13, they can see. Mistletoes, they can see. Viva Navidad, they can see. Viva! And perhaps most importantly, which we hope you all will tag them and watch them on Wednesdays through Saturday nights at Disney California Adventure, is Fat Cat Swinger is back. And they are better than ever. We were there for opening night. We got to watch Mark, and Douglas Rogiers tear up the night.
Energy was so fun.
Yes.
Like that.
It was a home run.
Yeah. And it's the band is always bringing the energy.
Life.
And that's the important thing. But it was so fun to be in a crowd full of the people who were the regulars pre-COVID, giving the same energy right back.
And it was really a weird, almost surreal thing, because it did feel like 2019 all over again.
Yeah.
In some ways even better though, because you hadn't had it in so long. And so that is an absolutely fantastic offering that you have to go Wednesdays through Saturdays, and they're at 8 and 9:15. They have two sets. Each one's different. You
Yes.
don't want to miss any of them. They're really great. What's your favorite Fat Cat song from the show this year?
Oh gosh. Oh no, this is very difficult. I always love your Mimo Mr. Grinch. Like always.
Very hard to beat.
But Run Run Rudolph.
That's kind of the one I always go to, just because you never know what Vitor is going to play.
Exactly.
And there's such great Blues Brothers energy happening there also, and it's just it's like a high point to leave the night with. Over at Disneyland, what is your favorite entertainment offering?
Oh me, oh my. I do love the Holiday Dapper Dans. I love that energy.
I like the Dickens Yuletide Band.
Also, A Christmas Fantasy is pretty hard to beat.
That is pretty hard to beat, and
Like,
it was very fun seeing that come back too.
It's a really magical parade. I know it's very old, and I know that it's been reinvented many, many times. A little bit,
but I don't care.
A little bit like Main Street Electrical Parade in that regard, in that it's gone through a lot of different floats and orders and all those things. But honestly, hearing those bells come down Main Street
and the trumpets, and
it's super magical, and it's one of those things that I'm really happy it's back. And they could have very easily changed the Christmas parade this year and said, we're going to throw something different or what have you. But it's pretty much the same parade that we've come to know and love. We've got the snowflakes, we've got the snowmen, we've got the stepsisters and Lady Tremaine, and all of the classic things you expect to see from A Christmas Fantasy parade. So I'm super happy. I'm looking forward to just the holidays this year.
And going back if we can get reservations.
Don't say that.
But they keep popping up, so I'm actually quite hopeful. Anyway, let's move right along. Along with holidays starting on November 12th, we also got the start. Well, no, not the start. We got the celebration of Disney Plus Day for its 2nd anniversary. There was a lot of characters in the parks, a really big blue carpet in one of the parks, which was weird to me in hindsight that it was only at the Disneyland side and nothing at the Disney California Adventure side, because over in Florida, it seemed like they put stuff in just about every park. I don't know, but there's characters.
Got
there
Powerline
was
Max and Powerline Goofy.
Yes, and then we also got a lot of announcements about upcoming programs for Disney Plus. What were you most excited about from Disney Plus Day?
I mean, we got some concept art for Obi-Wan, which I'm super excited about. But weirdly, and this might be weird to all of you, it's weird to me. I like the Beatles. I don't love the Beatles by any stretch of the imagination. Like I don't I don't know every Beatles song, any of that. But the Beatles Get Back, I'm so excited for. Because I think that the history of the Beatles is absolutely fascinating. Like, I guess I'm more interested in the story around the Beatles than I am in their actual music. I'm so sorry. Please don't burn me at the stake. I like the Beatles. Don't get me wrong. But I'm so excited for
so
this
that over like Disenchanted or Hocus Pocus 2 or Cheaper by the Dozen getting another movie.
So you're just right now, what you're telling me those are just sequels or revamps of other movies, and I'm really excited to see something original and also nonfiction.
And actually, that's the one I was going to pick as well. So thank you for stealing it. But
it's funny because I've been excited. And then like today I was walking through downtown Disney and I saw they put up a poster for the docuseries. And I got really excited and I was like, oh, I guess I really am looking forward to this.
And I think what's really exciting about this is you're getting another look at the Beatles that we haven't seen before. And apparently I read part of an article before it went behind a paywall that says it's actually going to change the story we think we know of this era in the Beatles, which I think is very fascinating.
And that was a quote from Paul McCartney.
I have read multiple books. Like I wrote an article on geekscorner.live that was my top 5, I think. But that skipped the other 15 or 20 that I have sitting in my office. And which was harder to do than I thought it would be. I kind of went with instinct on that. But this is clearer and crisper video and audio than I think I've ever seen of the Beatles, period.
It looks like it was filmed recently.
And I hope this is a starting point too for more like restoration of some of these old videos and recordings of the Beatles, because they've done some fantastic remastering. I believe it's is Niles Martin, who's George Martin's son, has been helping a lot with that. And I think I'll be surprised if we don't see him in the credits for this whenever we see it in just like a week, 2 weeks next week. next week.
Oh gosh.
Thanksgiving is
wow.
next week. In fact, I believe a week from today, maybe. But to me, every time they pull out one of the or release one of these clips, I go from like, oh, this is gonna be cool to like, oh,
I
this
think
is gonna blow my mind.
I think it's gonna be something that you and I are talking about very in depth.
Yeah. Well, and lots of people are going to, just because I think it's one of those things that's going to open a conversation that hasn't been had necessarily as much recently. And I'm very curious to see how Breakfast with the Beatles does once this comes out too. And then I'd love to hear what Chris Carter thinks about that as well. So Chris, if you'd like to hop on Geeks Corner, let us know.
Also, yes,
I've been listening to you for decades, I feel like.
The Beatles Love Cirque du Soleil show soundtrack does slap. We were listening to it in the car the other day.
And it's one of my favorites, and it's a great show. I've seen both versions of it at Vegas. And
I've seen neither.
They're good. They're very good. I did like the opening one that much, like a little bit better, but still very good. Other exciting thing that happened tonight was Spider-Man No Way Home had its trailer released, and I think the world's mind was collectively blown.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's fair. I will say, so Nathan texted me and said, hey, Nathan Hatton, friend of the show.
We should have had him on tonight to talk about the trailer, but we've only got like 4 minutes until we go to Geeks Corner Plus, so we'll see.
Anyway, Nathan Hatton, good friend of the show. Follow him. He's a great person, great friend, and I really enjoy him. And I also really enjoy that he is like my Marvel guy. So he texted me when the trailer dropped and said, Katie, you literally need to watch this right now. And then I watched it and I said, whoa! And he said, okay, now seriously, watch all the Spider-Man movies immediately.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch all of them.
Yes. So we already are not caught up on this Spider-Man saga because we still haven't seen Far From Home. Gosh, the home thing. I'm always like, which one is it? But I never watched the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man ever. And I've only ever seen bits and pieces of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. Spider-Man?
Whatever you want.
So, yeah, I that's my biggest thing about this is I need to get on it. But I do love the dynamic, I will say, of a bunch of high school kids taking on the other Spider-Man baddies, because when he's like, I'm Otto Octavius, and then they all go, okay, no, like what's your name, man? Like that, to me, that dynamic is so funny. And so I'm very excited to see those baddies come into this multiverse.
Yes. And to see where I actually think this is not. I'm wondering if by the end of the movie's not over, or the story's not, because I really feel like this is just a kickoff into Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yes. And to me, this could be like, sometimes this is both a strength and a weakness with Marvel, is sometimes these great movies are just kickoffs to other movies.
True.
And so the first time you see them, you're like, well, that was a good kickoff to the next movie. But I feel like I'm missing half of the movie because I don't know what's coming in the next movie. So the movie becomes better as time goes on. And I actually think Eternals is going to be one of those things too, where great movie, as time goes on and we see what follows it, it's going to become better just because we'll have the context for where these things are happening and why.
I think especially with this being an end of a trilogy, but in the middle of phase 4, I think it's going to be setting up.
So is this the end of Tom Holland?
I don't know, but I'm real worried. Spoiler if you don't want to spoiler for the trailer. I'm real worried MJ's going to die.
But is this the end of Tom Holland?
I don't know. It possibly. This is kind of where I like being both ignorant. I don't know what his contract looks like. So like Chris Evans, you knew he wasn't done because you were like, he's signed on for this much more. I don't know. I could see it going either way, especially as they kind of depart from the Infinity Saga characters. I don't know, man.
It'll be very interesting to see, and I'm hoping it's a ride that we kind of go, all right, this ride is done, we're moving on to the next one, as opposed to we didn't get the last chapter. You know, like I don't want that to happen. I am very curious. We saw a lot. What didn't we see? Because like there's obviously the spoilers out there that may or may not be true and may or may not be doctored, whatever you want to call that.
Well, I feel, and this is me not trying to spoil anything, I honestly, because I don't know much about the other trilogies, I don't have much in way of brain cells. So I don't know what I'm saying right now. But I feel like if they're bringing all of these baddies, it's only going to make sense if Spider-Man comes to fight
Well,
them.
and are these the only baddies we're going to see?
Oh, no.
Like, I had the thought watching it the third or fourth time I watched it, and that's where I was going, Clocky, is are we going to see X-Men pop in? Are we going to see Fantastic Four pop in? Like, is there going to be some complete out of left field, like, hey, you thought you were getting all the Spider-Man people.
Bet.
Guess what?
Logan.
Yes. Like, I don't know. Like, I could see, I don't know how to say plural Spider-Man. But,
Spider-Mans, Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Spider Boys.
Sinister Six, it sure looks like they're setting that up for that. But I am curious, like, if there's a huge surprise and they've just been playing us the whole time. And I would love that if Sony and Marvel could pull that off.
I don't think they would do Deadpool, but I would be interested. I do think that no matter what this movie throws at us, it's going to be wild from beginning to end.
I am curious, though, because I do feel like both Kevin Feige and Tom Holland have been backing off or trying to lower people's expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's because they have exactly what they know they have, or if legitimately they're like, hey, the expectations are so high, there's no way we can reach them. Or even third, they're just like, this isn't as good of a movie. Like, they're being honest. And so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as well. But we are running out of time tonight, Katie. So what should people do?
Thanks for tuning into Geeks Corner Plus, guys. You should go to dapsmagic.com. Check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. You never know what news is going to break, because we certainly don't. And subscribe to our mailing list.
And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we have tons of holiday video going up. We might get some from Florida, at Walt Disney World, where Murray is right now as well. But there's a ton going on, and we've got our Christmas episode coming up in just a few short weeks. It's hard to believe. In fact, I think after next week, the Christmas tree goes up, so that'll be fun too. But that is all the time we have for you this week, so we will see you around the corner.
Bye.